and welcome to Prairie Street Culinary Kitchen. I'm your guest chef today. My name is Naomi Ross and I am the author of The Giving Table. Let me show you how to prepare. Today we're making veal scaloppine with tomatoes and cremini mushrooms using Prairie Street Co.'s excellent quality veal rib chops. Veal scaloppine is not a name, rather it's a preparation of taking pieces of meat, pounding them super thin so that they cook very quickly, and then making a pan sauce in the same pan. The benefit of using a nice chop like this is that you see exactly the kind of meat you're getting, and it's a really a beautiful, nice, tender piece of meat. Let me show you how you could prepare it yourself at home. I'm going to be taking a nice sharp carving knife, cut down to the bone, follow the bone around, and cut off that big piece of meat. Don't throw this away. This makes great stock or even a nice veal rib that you can sear. Going to put this on the side. Then you can slice it and pound it very thin, just like this. Once you have nice butterflied pieces, then you can take your mallet and it's time to go to work to pound it really super thin. That's it. That's all it takes. Now I just want to show you how thin and beautiful these pieces are. All I'm going to do right now is season it with a little bit of kosher salt, black pepper, and we're going to be dredging this in all-purpose flour. The flour helps make a nice breading on the exterior of the veal, but not a thick breading, just very thin. It helps it coat and protect to the meat. Okay, once you have your pounded cutlets, you're going to then dip in the flour and shake off so there's no excess flour. Okay, now that that's prepared, we're going to get our pan ready to go and start cooking. I'm heating my frying pan up to medium-high heat, and I'm going to pour in some olive oil. Take your breaded veal cutlets and we're going to brown them on each side. Okay, let's take a look and see how it looks on the other side. We're going to transfer it out. You can see that nice browning on the side. One shallot finely minced. We're going to add in our shallots, some chicken stock, and wine to deglaze the pan. Deglazing is a fancy way of basically doing what I just explained. Scraping up the fond, those brown bits on the bottom of the pan, to remelt and resurrect those flavor bits into your pan sauce. We're also going to add in our cremini mushrooms and some dried oregano. And that's what you want. You want it to cook down for, say, about 3 or 4 minutes until you see that the mushrooms are really starting to reduce a little bit. And I'm going to add in our cherry tomatoes. What happens is those start breaking down as well, and when they do, they release their juices, and that also adds to the pan sauce. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this, and that's going to help them break down, and a little bit of pepper as well, and let that cook down for another 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, you can take a look now and see how the tomatoes have broken down a little bit, and it's a little bit more of a sauce. I'm going to now slide these pieces of veal back into the pan and spoon some of that sauce over them, and just let it continue to cook with the cherries, tomatoes. And just one final tip, which is really applied to any dish. If you're going to be garnishing with fresh herbs, I usually always recommend doing that at the end of cooking time, because then you don't lose the vibrancy of the herbs. So a nice little finishing of fresh parsley. We'll give it a stir. Okay, this is just about done. I'm going to take it off, let it cool a little bit, and it's time to plate. I cannot wait to dig in. Let's try this. The veal is really tender. And just as an aside, I have to say, I've worked with veal for many years, and the Prairie Street veal is like super consistently tender. So I really recommend it. And there you have it, our veal scaloppine with tomatoes and cremini mushrooms.